Hi guys, I am Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to now 15 children. My youngest baby is in the NICU at Brigham and Women's, and I have to say, like, only good things about Brigham and Women's, honestly. The team of doctors is just like beautiful, unprecedented. And that he also gets care from Boston Children's Hospital, so they come over from Boston Children's and I'm gonna unplug this. I had you guys plugged in, but it was kind of pulling you one way, so I'll wait till after and then I'll plug in my phone. So I feel super blessed right now. It's been a long couple days. I can't really remember. I know I told you guys that we were getting the house, so the kids had the Airbnb, so the kids ended up and my husband went, I think it was yesterday. Sorry. Somebody commented about me yawning and that maybe I should get some sleep instead of making videos, but yeah, I'm documenting this and you can watch me yawn or not watch me yawn. That's okay. I'm not a movie star. I'm just sharing my life, and things aren't perfect, and I am going to be tired lots of times, and that's okay. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but you also, I'm not, if it bothers you, then you don't have to watch. Anyway, so my son, who is baby number 15, his name is Azariah, and he was born on the 23rd, so he is a week and 2 days, a day old. Yes, a week and a day old, so 8 days old. There has been so many ups and downs over the past couple days. So he had some good things. Everyone says the NICU is a roller coaster. It really is a roller coaster. So one thing will be like a real high, and then it'll be a real low, and then a real high. So he had some good things going on with his lungs, and then we had some bad things going on with his liver, and then his lungs looked junky, and then his liver looked junky, but then we had some good things with his lungs again. And then last night we found out that there was some bleeding in the brain. Yeah, it's just been crazy. So like he had seizures on the first day. He had seizures, but then he never had seizures like after that. So they took all the leads and that type of stuff on, but now they have the brain bleeds. So we are waiting for Boston Children's to come over and put new EEGs. We planned on leaving. He had a line going through his like umbilical area, and that's where he was getting blood draws off of, as well as getting things through, was through that line. And that line on an x-ray today was not in an appropriate spot. It was actually kind of going over the liver, and we are having liver issues, like higher liver numbers as is, and it's not the type of, it's called like direct bilirubin, and so the indirect bilirubin is what you would use like phototherapy lights for. The direct bilirubin is not. So we are doing some like platelet type therapy stuff. Yeah. So the line was not in a good spot. So it came to the point where on a normal baby, usually after 7 days, they would take that out and they would put in a PICC line. So he's had ultrasounds on his arms a couple times to see like if that was appropriate. So today the decision was made, because of where the lead was, that he would have the PICC line put in today, if at all possible. So we couldn't be in the room. My husband actually now is here at the hospital with me, because last night, after finding out about brain bleeds and stuff, I asked one of my daughters, who is older, one of the older girls, and my 14-year-old to come down to where my other daughter is, so that my husband could be with me over the next couple days, because there's lots of stuff going on over the next couple days. So brain bleeds. We talked to neurosurgery or neurosurgeons from Boston Children's this morning at about, I'm trying to think. They did the x-ray. They did an x-ray at like 4 in the morning. So then we talked to them after. I think it was probably like 4:45. My husband wasn't here yet. And yeah, so probably like 4:45 they came in, talked about just what brain bleeds mean. And at this point, they're not like super worried about it. And what they'll do is they'll measure the circumference of the baby's head, of Azariah's head, every day. And then they will be doing ultrasounds of his head twice a week. So that is what's going on. And if anyone like notices anything, then they would like take care of that. Thankfully, God made babies to have like a flexible skull. That's why you have like a soft spot. So if there is brain bleeds, then the skull can flex a little bit. Whereas in an adult, if you have a brain bleed in an adult, then a lot of times you'd need to get like a hole put in your head in order to like release some of that pressure. At this point, he doesn't have pressure building up because of it. And they can like resolve on their own, but it's definitely something that we're keeping a super close eye on, and that is being monitored both by Brigham's NICU team and Boston Children's. Okay, so what else? Oh, so then the other main thing today was the PICC line. So we're trying to get a PICC line in, and so me and my husband went downstairs. The lady that had ultrasound a couple times, I had met her. She had she's like, all right, we're gonna try and do this, whatever. And they are like top-notch people. Like, so there was one person like ultrasounding, another person like, there was 3 people to try to put the PICC line in. So a few hours later, it came to us that they were unable to do it, which meant that Azariah would need to have a surgery, and that surgery would be to put in a central line. So the central line can be, so Azariah's veins are really deep and not like in the average spaces that things might be. And so that was the issue. It's like deep and like around arteries was the problem with the PICC line. So see, if I had longer time to like edit, then I would just edit those things out, but it's so much easier for me just to talk to you and like not edit. If I take the time to like edit, then it just, yeah, it doesn't work and I wouldn't get anything up. And I know that there's so many people praying for us. Like, I just want to like keep you in the loop of what's happening, and so you know specifically how to pray for things and all that stuff. So we were told that we needed to have him have surgery, and thankfully, because we're in the NICU, they said that if they can do it as a central line, then that can be done in the room. But if they needed to do, I forget the other name of whatever, that would have to, he would have to be transferred over to Boston Children's. So Brigham and Women's is a great hospital, but it mainly is an adult hospital, but they have like, I think it's the largest NICU in Massachusetts, possibly New England. Yeah, so it's a really good NICU team, and they work like side by side with Children's. So it's really neat to see them like work together. Like, it's, I guess it would be like a teaching hospital, so they have like a main person, but then they also have other people from Harvard Medical, and they are learning, and like everyone here is like happy to teach people because they want them to have that knowledge. And it's really beautiful to see those people being taught without the whole I'm better than you type attitude, which is almost unheard of, and it's really beautiful to see. So yeah, so they had to do the line, and we were nervous. We were really nervous. We had a conference beforehand on our thoughts. We talked about what if they can't get it. We talked about another issue would be is if they couldn't get it, then he would have to go over to Boston Children's and be in the operating room over there. And in order to transfer, he can't be on the same type of ventilation that he's on right now, which is challenging. And was a huge concern. And so, and plus this, I mean, just a central line, it seems like, oh, no big deal. It's central line, whatever. He's a tiny baby. He's just a little baby, and things are not like whatever. Anyway, so we were really nervous. We prayed over him. The nurse was so sweet. I'm like, I just want to pick him up because I haven't held him for days. Mama's heart is like, I just want to hold my baby. I haven't held him for days, and I just kind of wanted to like hold him, and I knew that that wasn't possible, like with everything going on. But the nurse was really great, and she was like, okay, you're gonna do this. And so she held like all the ventilation stuff, and I got to like cradle his head like in my hands, and then she let me like kind of hold his little bum up a little bit, and I just kind of snuggled to him. Aw, and kissed his little tummy. So sweet, so sweet. He was really awake this morning too. It was really special to see him being awake. So, it was a long procedure. We talked to them, the surgeon, actually the fellow is like underneath the surgeon. It's hard to understand. There's interns, there's fellows, and there is the actual doctor. But a fellow is almost like they have a lot of knowledge. Like they're like a doctor or like a surgeon. They're like under, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so the fellow came in and explained what was going on. He was really nice. And he said the surgeon, I don't know if you're going to meet her before surgery or after surgery, gave us her name. And yeah, so we ended up meeting her after surgery. We couldn't be in the room, obviously. So yeah, beforehand, we had a meeting, like a team meeting with the people that are overseeing his care at Brigham's. So the people that did the surgery would have been Boston Children's. They just wanted to know our thoughts and feelings on things. Our social worker was also there. And he's like, you need sleep, talking to me. And I was like, yeah, it's hard because he has bad, I'm going to say it wrong, perfusion. I didn't say it wrong. So he has bad perfusion on his hands and legs. So the monitors and stuff on him do not read him appropriately. So the monitors are going off like all night. And so if it's almost like, the whole diabetes thing, it blares, and I want to do something for my baby. And so if it blares and it's like red, it means like his oxygen level is like, I think it's under 70. So I want to make sure that it has like a good reading. So I'll get up and I'll try to like move things around or whatever. If the nurse, like if I don't see a nurse like right there, I'll try and do that. I can't do too much. And honestly, like a lot of times the nurses can't do too much except for like change the site of where they're actually reading it from. But none of the sites are good because of his perfusion. So, yeah. Anyway, this awesome social worker who has really been trying very hard to get everything that he has power to help us out with. Yeah. So he's helped us. Our vehicles, even the truck, none of our vehicles actually fit in the car garage. So if they did fit in the car garage, it would be, we could get like coupons, so it would be like $5 a day to park. But because they can't, we have to use the valet, which means that it's like $27 a day to park here. So he's been helping, like, we get a couple coupons a week, so we don't have to pay like the full amount every day. So a couple days we'll get like free cards and then whatever. So he's worked on that and just different things that he's helped us with. And so he was like, so there's these isolation rooms, and I think that it would be great if you could go in one tonight and sleep by yourself and just get a good night's sleep so you're fresh and ready tomorrow. So my husband is actually sleeping with Azariah tonight, and I am sleeping. I'm sleeping there, and I am so ready to sleep there. I'm waiting like 15 more minutes because I'm gonna pump before I go to bed. And I try to pump around the same time to, yeah, if you know about pumping, you know why I'm doing whatever. And my schedule has been completely thrown off today because I couldn't get into the row. Well, what I did was I brought my stuff out and I forgot my lines for pumping. So I wasn't able to pump earlier when they had done the pick line. So my schedule got thrown all off. So that is what's going on. He was like sleeping beautifully, obviously, because they had him like totally out. But I did see his little eye. He sticks his little eye out like that. It's so sweet. Yeah. So I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. Still having some liver issues. We really need to get his lungs and stuff figured out. But I think that it's good. So what happens kind of with his lungs is he will breathe over the ventilation. But when he breathes, which is a good thing because he wants to breathe over the ventilation. So he wants to breathe over the ventilation, but then what happens is the levels become lower because his breath isn't as forceful as if he had like full breaths. And so we're trying to like clean out his lungs as well. And so they're thinking, well, they started like today giving him like a mild sedative so that he doesn't try to breathe over the ventilation, so the ventilation can do its work and press the lungs completely open, so that when we're ready, then it would be better because his lungs would be fully inflated. So still don't know what's going on with the liver because they've done an ultrasound and part of the liver was like part of that, what's it called? Eventration. Part of it was like part of the eventration, so it's sitting like higher, but that's only, they said that it was under 20% that was there, and you can live with like half of your liver. So even if that part isn't working, like they're just trying to figure out what's going on with the liver. So we don't know. I can't give you any answers on that. I don't know, and it could be a while. It could be a while with him on ventilation so that we can allow his lungs to expand. Yeah. You know, we also today want to just, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So we just try to cherish each day. We make sure like before a big procedure that like I'll video chat with the kids. And they were so sweet today. They're like, I love you, Azariah. But then they also were like, tell the doctors, thank you for taking care of our brother. And it's just sweet. Like the doctors and nurses and stuff like hear that. And I think it blesses them, you know, just to hear that because they're completely innocent, like pure, right? They're pure thoughts that are just coming in their mind, like, tell the doctors thank you for taking care of him. It's just precious. So other things, I don't really know. I don't know plans. I really just don't know. I know that right now for the next couple days that I need my husband close while we're going through some of these really challenging days. we are each other's support system. We can get on each other's nerves, we can be whatever, but like at the end of the day, we could be in a room together, silent, and we're one, right? Like our hearts are kind of like in the same. I know that sounds really weird. We've been married 23 years? 23? I think so. I don't know. The guy's supposed to forget and the wife's supposed to remember, but yeah. I don't know. I think 23 years. It's a long time. It's a long time. So, people had asked if it was definitely trisomy 18. Yes, we found out 3 days after he was born that it was, I think it was 3 days, that it was trisomy 18. It doesn't change our thoughts. It really doesn't. We're fighting for his life. If you dig deep, then you can find children and families that have babies with, and toddlers and children. And I talked to a guy the other night out in Michigan, and he has a 15-year-old daughter with trisomy 18, full trisomy 18. There is some hope. There was a study, I think it's at, it's called Mott. I think it's in Michigan. It's a hospital. There's been some studies there that if there is full intervention for trisomy 18 children, it's as high as 90% that those children would make it to at least a year. That's encouraging. It's encouraging. I think that everyone needs to make their own decision for what they want to do, but it's encouraging that there are other families like ours that really are treasuring life and want to maybe see a change for the trisomy community, because that's what happens. Years ago, different diseases and whatever looked totally different. I mean, Down syndrome did not look like, hey, we already have all the answers to it when they first started. Well, they don't have all the answers for trisomy 18, but let's just take it like one day at a time and see what we can figure out for answers for trisomy 18. And maybe in the process, the medical community can learn lots of things to help other families. So, yeah, I really kind of feel strongly about that. And I just feel blessed with every day with him, with Azariah. And even here, like I've talked to so many wonderful moms, doctors, yeah. The Lord's already been using us, or has been using us in this whole thing. And I feel like I'm right in God's will right now. I can't tell you when we're going home. I can't tell you how long we'll be here. I can't tell you any of that information. I can focus on today, maybe tomorrow. Yeah. But I do have some other videos for you guys that are talking about, that I pre-recorded and have on here. Some of them are food, some of them are whatever. And then as time goes on, I might be able to do just different things about NICU life. I have a lot of other topics that I have wanted to speak to you guys about that is just kind of like chatty type videos that have nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. But I need to be a little more alive and awake. So I'm going to be blessed tonight just by sleeping, and I feel very comfortable because my husband is here and he is going to look out for Azariah, and that just gives me a level of comfort that I can't change for anything. Yeah, so I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful night.